Welcome, welcome,
What's
everybody.
good? What's
This
good? What's good?
is the CyphaDen chat. I'm your host, Tayamu Danko. I got my homie Rambunctious with
Peace,
me.
peace, peace,
Shouts
peace.
to the homie Pestilence, can't be with us this evening, but we
Let's
have
go.
Milwaukee's own Dukalion Captain IX in the building.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Sir.
We
yeah,
are
Yeah.
here. What's
Yes,
going on,
sir.
y'all? How y'all doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good, man. You know me, cooling like a hooligan till it's cool again, man. I'm blessed and honored to be here. Almost got T-boned last night. I feel like somebody purposely tried to T-bone me. It's crazy as shit, but
yeah. Oh
but
shit.
we here.
Bro, that's the Milwaukee shit. Talk about the Milwaukee shit real quick, bro. Cause we're from here. Ram used to stay in Madison for a long time. He's actually
Yeah,
currently in Louisville, but he
yeah.
doesn't
Okay, word.
really know the crazy Milwaukee shit. Like the
Not the
driving is
no, I really
crazy.
don't. Nah.
Listen, like literally, I was driving on Fond du Lac. I drive Uber and whatnot, so I was on my way to pick up a passenger, and I like soon as I turn on 51st, I'm about to cross an intersection, and of course, it's a stop sign on the other side of the intersection and whatnot. Not to them, no. Like no. This is a crazy thing. They was stopped at the stop sign. I'm going through the intersection. I ain't got no stop sign. These motherfuckers speed at me, dog. Like literally speed at me, and I had to swerve to get out the way and like barely missed them. Like
Damn.
for no reason.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell it like this, Ram. If if there's a stoplight, like
Yeah,
a whole stoplight,
yeah,
like for both sides, if it
yeah,
doesn't have a camera above it and they
yeah,
notice there ain't no camera, they're going
yeah.
through the red light. If
No, it's like that in Louisville. Some Austin's weird because it's everybody's driving like that, so it's okay.
Right, right.
When I
That's
was in
what
Austin,
I'm saying.
Texas, everybody's driving crazy. But yeah, Louisville's
Shit,
like that with the stoplights for sure, man.
yeah,
man, shit's wild, man. But I love it. It's home. I'll take as like our traffic is way more dangerous than LA, but you're gonna get where you're going faster, so I'll take it. For real.
I feel that.
That's
I
saying,
feel
that's
that.
saying a lot. That's saying a lot.
Right. Hey, shout out to LA though. But yeah, that traffic, man, it took me 40 minutes to travel 4 miles once.
Oh, god damn, boy.
And that is why I will not go to LA.
You're
Man.
not wrong.
I
That when I was with you in LA that time, it seemed like it was like 2 hours to get to like each spot.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, my homie, he lived up the street. The Uber about to come get us. Like, okay, like I pass out, wake up, like an hour later, sweating. Like this is not up the street somewhere, bro. Like, where are we, dog? Like, I'm like I was a hostage in a Bad Boys movie. Like,
Ram,
hot.
I feel like you had similar stories of that in Phoenix.
Growing up in Phoenix, yeah, man. I mean, it can take forever to get across town, but
Wow.
it's not LA. But I've been in LA, but I mean, it's not like that. But
What's forever? Like what? Like from side to side.
Anytime you got to cross the
uh,
desert for more than 15 minutes is a long time.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, growing up not having no AC in the car or some shit, man. You know what I mean? And it's fucking 115. Every
Couldn't even
day. I
imagine,
mean,
though.
but it's so I mean, I don't know. In the end, it's probably like an hour and a half with the whole metropolitan area. It's probably an hour and a half, depending on the day. The traffic 2 hour, hour and a half. I say
Damn,
hour.
I didn't know it was that big. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, Phoenix with the
Phoenix is
metropolitan area,
huge.
like with like Scottsdale, Mesa, Tempe, and all that. You
Okay,
know what I
okay,
mean?
okay. So
Because it's
the
really Phoenix. Phoenix is the city, and then there's a bunch of suburbs that are basically all the same city. If it didn't tell you on a sign, like when you cross 48th Street, if it didn't tell you that you in Tempe, you wouldn't know it. You know what I mean?
right,
That's where
right,
ASU is, Arizona State U. It's just that's how Phoenix and and all that is. So it's
for sure.
like this. It's like the city, and then like a ring of suburbs that make up the metropolitan area, which makes it go from like let's say 2 million to like 6.5 million or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Right,
You know
right.
what
it's
I'm saying? So
actually
it makes it
it's
a bigger city. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
so it's
feel that.
actually I'll just bring up just some random stats situations.
Oh
It's
well, yeah. So
actually
I might be way off. So fuck all of what I
it's
just said.
no. So I mean, no, you're close. Well, like a million off, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's like 5 million the Metro Pop, and then it's the 10th biggest city population wise, and the 5th biggest city as far as how big it is.
Okay,
Wow.
so yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
That sounds
motherfucker,
like a
I
check
said
out.
that shit.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
No,
wild.
man.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go there, man. Matter of fact,
It's cool.
if I can give a shout out to the homie Black Cat Bill out there and the True Minati fam.
Nice.
He's doing this thing out there, and oh
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
my boy Blizz McFly live out in
Okay,
Phoenix and shit.
nice.
Shout
Nice.
out Santa Cruz.
oh, I didn't know he moved
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there.
Yeah, yes sir. Yeah,
That's
he
what's
out
up.
there
That's
holding
what's
it
up.
down.
So tell me,
That's
how long have y'all known each other, and how long y'all been doing music together?
Man, so I met this guy right on the corner outside. Um, I met him seventh grade. I transferred to Roosevelt that year. And yeah, him and his brother, like we just like hit it off right away on the bus, like damn near on the corner, like waiting on the bus. Like we hit it off from there. And yeah, just been thick as thieves ever since. Created uh record label, drew up contracts and everything in seventh grade, over the
Oh
top
shit.
records, and
we thought
Oh
we was
damn.
professional.
you know what I'm saying? Right. So yeah, shit, we used to like, man, like just write like, especially me and this guy, like we was writing like 3 songs a day, like we was going crazy,
We,
like
we probably
So
killed like 2 computers downloading Fruity Loops way back then. Yeah, it was
hell
kind of
yeah.
crazy.
yeah, yeah,
So in seventh grade, y'all knew song structure and all that. And
yeah, somewhat. I
yeah,
thought,
I'm just curious. Yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy.
like so we knew what bars were, but well, it took me a little while to learn that like the difference between an 8 and a 16. I
Right,
think
right,
like I used to think like a bar was 2 bars, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
right,
a
right, right,
couplet
right.
was a
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
bar.
normal shit. Yeah,
So
yeah,
you right.
But
yeah.
but like we'd have like concepts of like a song, and like we're right. And like when we see each other passing between class or at lunch, we'd be like, all right, here go my part, here go hook idea, here we go, man. And, write your 16. And we just
No
have a
beats.
whole notebook just full of like just raps and stuff like that. Like
No,
it'd be so crazy.
right,
That's what's
right.
up.
We wasn't operating on no beats or nothing. We was, you know what I'm saying, just like
Yeah.
pure inspiration.
That's dope.
What do you think about artists who are never able to learn bar counts? They're out there. It's a real thing. Do you think that actually having the knowledge behind being able to count bars and structure helps today? Because today I feel like the new age. There's probably a lot of people that don't know how to count bars and they just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I definitely feel like nowadays it really doesn't matter as much. Like we don't. When the last time you heard a song with a bridge? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It's a lot of techniques that are just thrown out nowadays, especially in the realm of hip hop, where everything's like it went from four verses to 3 verses to two to one and a hook. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So the format has definitely changed. But I think like in regards to just good songwriting is like the difference between a hot song and a great song, a classic song, is how well it's written. So I feel like you know there's still an arena for good writing, for knowing song structure, and you know what I'm saying. It still has
Yeah.
its
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
MCing is still very much alive. So as long as MCing is still alive, I feel like there will be an importance to it. So.
Do you think a great song and a classic song can be one verse and a hook?
Hell yeah, I got one of them.
Yeah.
I think the thing with art don't really have like any like rules or bounds. Um, so of course, like you can just have some really awesome stuff where it's like they only said like a cool part one time, they didn't repeat it. But just like the best things, like with measurements and science to it, like it's the best. And I think rap or hip hop always having like that poetic crispness to it. Like that, it's tight when Biggie, Doom, and all those dudes they can like rap off stanza, or these newer
Yeah.
dudes who like don't write anything down, but people who can kind of like concisely, put a script down like that'll always kind of have its own sweet science to it
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. I totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Ram, you got something?
Everything they said. I mean, to be honest, I totally agree with everything they said, 100%. I think what he just said, especially, is pertinent because it's like that's what makes 3K so great. You know, Andre 3000. I mean, that's exactly what makes him great. Is that sweet science of writing and the
I would
poetic
say
part.
Outkast in general. I'm sorry
Of
to cut
course,
you off,
yeah,
but
no,
yeah,
100%, 100%. Yeah, I shouldn't take any. That's not. I wasn't trying to take anything away. I just think of 3K when I think of that. What he said in terms of the being poetic and concise with the writing, as opposed to dudes who are just you know off the top. And yeah, it was dope. You did it off the top, but it's not as good as this over here, where somebody sat there and wrote it down every word and knew exactly how they were saying every word. Sorry, it's just, you know what I mean. There's something
Yeah,
to that.
yeah.
I couldn't
I
agree
think it
more.
wins every time.
I respect the art. Like, we clearly here with, in my opinion, one of the most talented freestylers I've ever seen. So I definitely have a lot of love and respect for the art of freestyling, especially
Of
when
course.
you're able to do it in the way that Danku does it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I have my moments, but you know what I'm saying? It's never as consistent. Well, and I don't even gonna say never say, or never say never. I'm not gonna like cap myself and say I can never get to that point, but I just appreciate writing a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like I just appreciate when somebody's able to articulate concise streams of thought. Whether it's all connected or not. You know what I'm saying? But like when somebody takes their time to say what they want to say. And I just wanted to piggyback and double back on the Outcast. The reason I was adamant about Outcast in that conversation, as far as like bar structure and songwriting, is because like Big Boy, like he's known to like give you a 14 bar verse,
Yeah.
or
No.
you know
Yeah.
what I'm
No.
saying, like
Yeah. Yeah.
the way that they'll write their songs, like
Very
I think
very
So razor
unconventional.
sharp scientifically that it technically make Andre have to like technically like all right, I gotta hit this with a completely different pocket.
right.
Yeah, because you can see Big Boy standing
True.
like like oh okay.
And
I
then
think the whole
also,
Dungeon family did that to each other too.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't
Yeah.
tell me that we're in there with CeeLo and CeeLo didn't hit them with some shit where they were like, "Whoa, excuse me," like
yeah, and
yeah.
also like just their song structure. Like if you take the two biggest singles off of Stankonia, hey, sorry, Miss Jackson, and So Fresh So Clean.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know. Is So Fresh So Clean bigger than B.O.B.? I don't know. Who
Uh,
cares?
uh,
It's up there. But
Yeah, some
okay,
fresh I play
all three.
probably
You take all three are different
yeah.
from each other.
right,
It's probably some fresh I play. Yeah.
but like the way that they wrote, you know what I'm saying, like the song, like if you think about Miss Jackson, it's a 16 bar verse from Big Boy, what, maybe a 24 bar verse, or like a bridge and a verse from Dre.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? 16
Mhm.
bar verse from Big, and then like So Fresh So Clean is like two eight no, two 16 bar verses from Big Boy, and then like a 8 bar verse from Dre, and then like a what I'm saying,
Yeah.
a bridge to end
Yeah.
it. Like
Pop music wise, Outkast music doesn't make any actual
sense,
sense.
but
Yeah.
it's
No,
amazing.
very very unconventional. It doesn't make sense for underground or pop. It's somewhere in this dimension of its own. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, yeah.
I had to shine light on that aspect because
yeah,
they are
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
yeah,
And
100%.
I definitely appreciate the shout on the freestyle shit. However, I don't ever freestyle songs. I mean, unless I make a
Oh
full
yeah, for
freestyle
sure.
album. I actually love writing shit down. So
Yeah,
Oh
um
yeah.
yeah. I
yeah.
think it's important to have both skills, to be honest. I don't mean you got to be the best at both, but I take pride in writing, and I think writing goes across all genres too. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That where
That I was just gonna say that I meant to add that to the bar count thing, and that goes
right,
back to back in the day when we used to write and then later on make the beats.
mm,
The bar allows me to technically adjust what I was writing to any type of beat or song. Maybe I want to
yeah,
sing it out or whatever, but these are the ideas and these, where each thought ends. So no matter where that snare or that third or fourth note hit, now I can just
yeah,
like adjust and then
100%.
create a different
Mm,
pocket however I need it to be.
that's what's up, man.
Work.
Um
Wu-Tang.
the, so y'all were creating songs, talking about having a record label in seventh grade. But because it's basically I always like a lot of the legendary Milwaukee real hip hop motherfuckers know or grew up around you, Dukalion. So what is it like being around that? I wasn't really around it. I kind of stemmed and built my own circle, but you were around the people that were doing shit from early on. You know what I'm saying?
It's interesting. Even like so, I will really say he's definitely a big part of that nucleus. He's actually his cousin is classic. And his another cousin of his is you know more like our brother Van White, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the original over the well, not one, I guess not original members, but we were over the top. Then he joined Saf's crew with me and whatnot. So um but even outside of them, Trio Records was his uncle. I don't know if y'all remember Trio Records back in the day,
Mm.
but they definitely did a lot of major things in the city. And let me see, shit. I mean, it's a so like yeah, I've just been blessed to grow up around. I went to school with Gerald Walker, went to school with H.E. the Gift, and what else? Who else? Couple people, you know what I'm saying, from Riverside who made names in the music industry, and like just networking, just going out, you know what I'm saying, like putting myself in these circles and letting motherfuckers know like I'm nice too, you know what I'm saying, like so it's really this competition and just happening to luck up and know the right people and whatnot.
Yeah, you remember when we first met?
Um, I don't know if I remember the very first meeting, but I definitely remember, what I'm
Grassroots
saying, like a lot of
Miramar.
encounters.
Grassroots Miramar was when I first saw you perform. I believe was that the I don't know if it was for a Grassroots or if it was for a show at the Miramar. It was
Because
one
we
of
were
those.
definitely at both frequently. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it was one of
it
those
can
two
very well.
things.
I let it mind.
Man, oh my God, dog. We used to go crazy at the Miramar, dog. Like
Yeah.
I'll never
Now,
forget. Like, yeah, actually, I feel like I do remember the first time I seen you because like I was flipping off your freestyle game. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was definitely like mind blowing. Like to see somebody go so hard, like off the top. Like I've been around very talented MCs and whatnot, but yeah, just I definitely recall like the first reactions, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
yeah. Now they only do EDM really at Miramar's kind of. They don't even
crazy.
really let hip hop go down there, and that's an amazing venue. I feel like it's kind of being wasted in the city. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit.
Man, a lot of bit. I mean, shout out to Aaron. I actually met the owner. But
Oh, I'm
yeah, dog,
yeah.
let us back in the door.
Yeah, I've met them too, and we've had conversations about doing shows, and then they never grow into anything more. Um,
Okay.
because a lot of the shows that they allow in there, as far as being hip hop shows, are those the ticketed shows,
Yeah.
to where you will, you know, or those Afton shows that used to be around, which are complete whack shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the ticketing shows where, and not the ones where you have to sell tickets and you get to keep the money for the tickets you sell. I have no problem with that shit. Like when I talk
Mhm.
ticketing, I don't have a problem with that. If you want me to sell
Yeah.
tickets and I'll sell tickets, get people through the door, and I get to keep the ticket money for the people I sell tickets to, that's completely fine. I'm
I
talking
can see that.
about the ticketing shows where you sell tickets and you have to give the money to the promoter afterwards. You don't make no money from selling the tickets to your people, and then you have
Yeah.
to give the money to the promoter afterwards. And depending how many tickets you sell depends on how shitty of a time slot you get. This is how whack the game is now.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate that shit. Really
Yeah.
hate pay to play. Like, yeah.
Pretty much.
Any
Yeah.
form of pay to play is complete trash and garbage. And anybody that disagrees with it or does pay to play shit, I will tell you to your face the same shit. This is why they block me. This is why they don't talk to me, because they know I have the same feeling about it all the time. I've been doing this shit. I've been in the music game 30 years. How long you guys been rocking? Seventh grade? I mean, how old are y'all now?
35, so 20 some years now. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We've been around. We've been doing this shit for a minute. We seen when shit like this wasn't happening. We seen the eras when promoters actually promoted shows.
Mhm.
That shit's gone now. Now promoters are
You
like,
know,
"Oh,
they lazy.
I'll book the show, but you guys have to bring the people." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"That's
they're
cool.
lazy.
We can bring our people if they want to leave the house. My people are old now. They don't want to
Right.
leave the house." So,
Shit, I remember back when you was a upcoming when you just started, right? And you just get maybe you and your two homies got your first two songs or whatever it is, and you getting paid for a show by a
yeah,
promoter who's just starting. Them days are over. Now
long
Yeah.
you
gone.
pay
Yeah.
now you paying the motherfucker just because his uncle got a bar.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And
Exactly.
yeah, and we're
You
in
know,
and we're in this
it's
new
a couple
age.
promoters. It's a couple
you
promoters
know,
that got to meet me.
I'm
They
just
got to
talking
meet the
shit, you
other
know. Yeah.
persona.
Yeah. He told me about
Yeah.
those stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and
For
and
sure.
we're in this weird age now. I'm currently booking a spring tour right now, and I've come to these road bumps
Hmm.
to where you're find venues that will charge you a rental fee when you're trying to book a tour, and I'm like, it's never been like this.
Right.
I've never booked a nationwide tour and had to pay or put money down on a venue to book it. Like I'm like
Yeah, yeah,
I
y'all want me to pay for y'all to be open, and then that don't really make sense. Yeah,
Right.
I'm
Right.
the
I'm
entertainment.
right. Like,
yeah,
coming to
it's
make money, coming to perform for your venue, and I gotta pay. That's
Yeah,
weird
it's
as fuck.
crazy. It's crazy
yeah,
as
and
fuck.
that's where we're at now. There's shit like that going on. I had a probably a 20 or 30 minute conversation with a homie producer named Jay Wiz down in Tampa. Shouts to Jay Wiz, super cool dude. We had a long conversation where we talked about this, and he was breaking it down and telling me how boom bap shit and real hip hop shit doesn't do well in Tampa. And I'm like,
Mhm.
well, I'm trying to get down there, man, because I got this tour and the route kind of makes sense. Like, I need to
Right,
get
right, right.
there for this day. And he's like, well, all these venues charge down here. They all charge money. And then if they don't charge money, whoever books the show for you, they're gonna charge you money to book your show for you. That's how Tampa does shit. And I'm like, well, how does shit like this work for y'all? He was like, well, let me put it into perspective for you. And he gave me this example. And he said, we brought Sky Zoo down here. Sky Zoo is not very known in Tampa.
Right.
Let's just be real. Sky Zoo is an East Coast dude. Upper East Coast, New York. Not very known worldwide. I mean, people know him, but he ain't
Right.
like he ain't
Yeah.
blown up like that. He has his own label.
Yeah.
He's down with Quali, done tours with Quali. Anyway, he said they brought Sky Zoo down there. They were asking 6K for the tour package. They only made 4K from the show because, like I said, people don't know Sky Zoo down there. They're not pack.
Right.
Sky Zoo ain't packing out venues in Tampa. It ain't happening. So
Right.
they lost $2,000 trying to. They had to pay the rental fee for the venue. Then they had to pay to promote the show, and then they had to pay Sky Zoo his tour package fee on top of it, just to bring the show down there to have that show happen. And they lost $2,000. That's why I don't touch shows no more. This is why when artists hit me up, if they don't instantly have a following in the Milwaukee area, which is very few, by the way, unless you're damn near famous, any underground or legendary hip hop MC that wants to come through Milwaukee now and asks for some crazy type of money, I'm like, they don't know you here, bro. No one is coming to see you here. No one cares about Crooked Eye in Milwaukee. If Crooked Eye came to Milwaukee, how many people are going to Crooked Eye?
Not enough.
I don't know, but I hope so. I hope so little that if I was there, I could get up close.
You would be in the front row, bro. You would be in the front row. You would be able to kick it with Crooked Eye after the show. Is how little people would be at that show. Conway,
it's a sad thing.
Conway, when he was here, was not sold out.
I think that's the state of everywhere, though. I think it's kind of a not worldwide, but a nationwide thing. You know what I'm saying? In different ways.
Milwaukee's a tough spot, though, for sure. Yeah.
It's definitely tough because they hit Chicago and then they go around Wisconsin and they go to Minneapolis. They don't care.
I don't get that. Or go to Madison, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
Madison be cracking though.
It do, but it's like Milwaukee.
Madison could be cracking.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta put the time in. You know,
But here's the thing you got to think about in Madison, and Ram was around during this period of time, is there was a time in Madison where they weren't allowing hip hop shows. There was too many there was too many shootings going on in shows.
Yes.
They cut that whole shit off. They canceled shows.
I remember that era. I was and I'm not trying to toot my own horn in any way, but we was popping. We had a lot of shows popping. Like, you know, we was having a good time. And basically, Madison basically got a little racist. I'm not gonna lie. You know, it basically was like, y'all fucking up too much, niggas. And they shut that shit down straight up. I mean, that's basically, you know, keep it real frank. I mean, it's what it was. And so for a while there, they wasn't allowing hip hop. I mean, it was bad. It got bad. And then the pay to play came. It was almost like it was a effect of the other. But that's at that same time, that same thing was happening around the nation as well. A lot of other small hip hop communities were having problems with, hey, violence happens. Hey, you can't do this. You know what I mean? I'm sure some small white towns that was just poor white people. I'm not trying to make it racial, really, because it really isn't. It's really economic when we really start breaking it down. But that's a whole other podcast. But we
get what you're saying. I mean, like, predominantly white towns. So, you know,
but hip hop in general, I think at that time we really was getting shut down in the same way, and then pay to play started coming in the same way. Yeah. I might the correlation might not be. I might be wrong. Some people might be like, "Oh, you're 6 years off and whatever." Fuck y'all. I don't care.
Well, plus
only go off your experience. You know?
Plus, we all know what Madison wants people to look at him as. I mean, it's the capital city and the big university.
It's one of those liberal cities. Yeah.
So that's what they, you know, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But
I feel like the underground's coming back some though right now, man.
It is a little bit, but
it has to, because there's so much it's mainstream right now. So yeah.
And I will say, like, you know, to that point, it's crazy, like, just being in the Milwaukee scene, seeing like that there are two different scenes and whatnot, you know, because I would say Three scenes
Get
that
into what the three scenes are, because I'm an outsider. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
for
And other
sure.
people might not who might be watching this. Get into that like a little bit. Explain what
All
the
right.
three scenes are for me,
Well,
please.
since you said three scenes, let's hear your perspective.
Well, there's uh, definitely the chicken pea, crowd, and there's people who, if you talk to them, like that's the only guys they know, and they the best rappers ever to come out of
Well,
Milwaukee, and the
re-
only rappers.
real quick,
Who
what would
who
you consider that
who was that?
brand, that or not that brand, but that subgenre of hip hop? Chicken Peas talking about. He's actually
Oh,
a
okay.
pretty viral
Is that
artist from Milwaukee. But what would you
Yeah, I think I
consider
heard him
that
now that I heard it
like
right.
that
like
subgenre?
Trap, yeah, trap,
street
like
Okay.
shit? Yeah, like
trap
Okay.
drill esque,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
shit. I mean, is that slap?
yeah,
Slap.
drill.
Yeah, it's Milwaukee slap.
At some point, all of those can kind of meld in some way a little bit, right? I
Right,
mean,
yeah.
they can kind of
Exactly.
cross a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then you have for sure the I guess like the esoteric, eccentric uh crew of them, or you know what I'm saying, like crop of artists, the Sass crews, the House of Renji,
Emmett James,
yeah,
Classic, those guys.
yeah, um,
Right. Bullets, Gerald Walker. They've been winning like the awards. Another person who's went to middle school with us, Lily K. Who's really dope. She's a singer who got placement on Chance album and was
Well,
Hmm.
okay.
featured on Rock Nation's like
Oh, that's dope.
upcoming artists. Like she definitely does her thing out in Chicago and whatnot. So yeah, it's a lot of artists like that. What would you say is the third?
um they I still would put it's a lot of the like a generation just a little bit before us,
Yeah.
like Pizzle, and all those guys who are
Yeah.
still really tough and out here rocking it.
So like Danku would probably be a part of that generation.
Danku,
Like so,
those guys are still sick and like putting out really good stuff.
right.
Yeah.
Who else? I'd say like
Would y'all say
you
that's
know
more like boom bap style? I guess for lack of better description.
there's a combination. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
see. Well, I guess these scenes have kind of always existed because then that makes me want to go
Right.
back and mention like Baby Drew as well, Cuckoo Cow. So like I guess that would be
Right.
like I guess that side is like the chicken pea of back in the
Of
day, and then
of my era.
I see.
right, exactly,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then you got like in addition to Danku, I'd say like House of M and what's the brothers they like right on the tip of my tongue, but I always see them at Summerfest. Who?
I say House of M.
Oh yeah, House of M for sure.
You talking about
But
Rusty Peas?
yes,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
Rusty Peas. Hell, even of course, got a shout out to Speech and Arrested Development. I know
Right.
they Atlanta based, but Speech from Milwaukee, so you
I
know
mean,
that
King Hell Bastard was doing it for a while.
exactly. Shout out to Dana and the whole KHB. I remember I bought one of their albums back in the day. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Whatever happened?
Talking about Dana Copperfield, right?
yes
Yeah.
sir.
What
Yeah.
whatever happened to? I don't know if they were Sap's crew or not, but there was a duo. Maybe they weren't Sap's crew, but they were down with y'all or something. There was a duo that reminded me of like on like some fucking Run DMC shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, Cranberry Show.
I know you talking
Yes.
about.
Cranberry
I ask
Show.
about the Cranberry Show all the time, and
What happened? What
It was a
happened?
I don't know.
cranberry. What?
They just it was creative differences basically at the end of the day.
Some dudes was tough, man. I like
Yeah,
Cranberry.
there was this duo here, Ram, called Cranberry Show, and they were on some Run
Cranberry
DMC.
show.
Yeah, and
the
they were
Cranberry Show.
And it was
Look,
two
Oh,
two MCs,
that's a dope ass name. I don't know. I
and
like it.
literally their vibe and sound reminded me of Run DMC.
yeah,
That's
like
crazy.
it was in that era.
Rather,
Well, I would even say more. It was in that era. Like they were kind of like, I'm not gonna say like riding the wave because they were skateboarders compared to the cool kids, where the cool
yeah.
kids
Oh,
were
I
like,
remember.
you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying,
okay.
the BMX riders and whatnot. But like, so they were kind of in that same vein, you know what I'm saying? Like they came
Yeah.
up under the Lupe wave.
I was about to say the back in that Lupe era when he first came
Yeah,
through. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
exactly.
just always wonder what happened to them. I figured you maybe knew more than I
Yep.
did.
Yeah, it was creative differences, you know what I'm saying? Like they just you know, couldn't see eye to eye on the direction where they wanted to take it. And yeah, they toured, they had sponsorships with Red Bull, they was, doing interviews with who was it, DJ Who Kid, I think?
That's right. That was in the early Red Bull days, huh?
Yeah,
When
yeah,
Red Bull was
exactly.
out here
Like they had
giving
they had a they
giving
had a
niggas
drink.
5,000 or some shit right quick.
Yeah, they had a cranberry Red Bull vodka drink called the
That's fire.
Cranberry Show. You
That's
know what
fire.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah,
shit, that's crazy.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
even know
yeah,
none of this. I knew none of this happened.
yeah, yeah,
yeah. They was doing their thing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
Like Arcane. It was Arcane and Young Focus. Arcane definitely, like, was a great business mind, and it was cool to see them do their thing. And
And
their shows were.
neither of them rhyme anymore.
I don't know. I really don't know about what Young Focus is doing, but I know Arcane. He is a police officer now, family man.
Oh
So
wow.
I don't think he's doing music at all.
I mean, we could all be Rick Ross at some point.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
That's
Yeah,
that's an
he's still
interesting way to
rap.
describe that. But yeah,
Yeah, he's still rap. Probably, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he probably. I wouldn't doubt that he still got it. You know what I'm saying? Still dabble, but yeah.
Oh, you never lose it, man. You
no,
never
it's
lose
riding
it.
the
Like,
bike,
that's what
man.
I'm saying. Yeah, honestly,
right, he's still.
Yeah,
honestly,
I'm sure he could still pick up the mic and rock a show. Um,
absolutely.
so talk about the record. You have a 3-part project. Um, and Captain IX has some production on it, right? So
Yes, sir.
talk about that record and the inspiration behind it, what led you to create a 3-part project as opposed to just a single album.
So my artist name is Dukalion. Comes from the Greek ark builder similar to Noah, named Dukalion. I didn't know it was pronounced Dukalion until a few years ago when my brother pointed it out. So I had been pronouncing it wrong this whole time. But I, took his name, changed the spelling of it. But I was
So
very captivated. Well, I found the name in a Dean Koontz novel. Dean Koontz, for people who don't know, he's similar to like Stephen King, a thriller, horror, fantasy, sci-fi writer. So he wrote, uh, basically modernized Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
mm,
So the monster was basically the hero of the series, and he took on the name Deucalion, and he had a whole bunch of like special powers. He can manipulate time, space continuum, blah blah blah. He was super dope. Anyways, so I learned about
so,
what his
yeah.
actual name meant, took it on, and then when I was going to MATC for a little bit for the music business program, I decided to come up with the Journey of the Lost Ark. It was a bunch of songs that I had like recorded over that time, and I was just going to drop a mixtape called The Journey of the Lost Ark. And then never dropped the mixtape. Moved to LA. I had a bunch of joints that I was gonna put out, but I couldn't get the records from my engineer at the time. So yeah, I was like freaking out over that. So I kind of just like went to the drawing board. Ended up dropping an EP back in 2014 called The Journey of the Lost Ark. Um, but knew that I wanted to make an album. So like basically it was a long process. So like um, it started in 2010 and I want to say like 2020 is when I was actually able to. So I decided to split it up into three different books instead of just one album or three albums. You know what I'm saying? Three parts. I call them books because I'm a storyteller. I like to create that vibe, that narrative with my music. So um, the Journey is the first book that I dropped, and I dropped that in 2020 with the title track, or not the title track, but the intro, the art produced by Captain IX and Emmett James actually did some co-production on there. But yeah, I just like really wanted to express all the styles that I can do. You know what I'm saying? So the journey is more for my like super lyrical miracle fans, hip hop heads. But it's what I want, what I think modern day boom bap sounds like, or sounds like for me. I didn't want it to have the cliche like, you know, cliche boom bap sound. I wanted a fresh new energy, but still boom bap. And then Lost Book Two, which I just released in July of 2024. That one is more contemporary. It's definitely more, yeah. I just say more of a contemporary hip hop sound.
Yeah.
But it's still, definitely like very very much me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still giving you bars, I'm still giving you content. I feel like it's even better, more focused songwriting. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And
yeah.
lastly, I got the Ark coming, the Anointed Reigning King. And
So, so,
actually got a lot of production with Captain IX on this one, so I'm super excited about it. Man, we got some fucking bangers. um, and yeah, I feel like this one is going to be like it's just going to be my most focused one to date as far as like um just really trying to like push the limits of flows and really try to like just improve upon the formula that I found. Try to blend a little bit of both of the sounds of the first album together. That's really what
Mm.
the first two albums I mean, or the first two books. So that's my
okay.
long-winded explanation of the
Yeah, yeah.
journey of the Lost Ark.
And so the third one, what's the topic like kind of theme or you know what I mean? Like
Anointed Reigning King.
of
So
the story. Yeah, what is it?
it's
What does that
really
kind of mean more? Like more in depth? Can you go more in depth on that?
absolutely.
Right, so,
So like I really feel, like I feel like it's a statement that not only is meant for me, but what I'm saying, I want other people to feel like they're anointed reigning kings and queens of
right.
their lives. You know what I'm saying? Like Christ consciousness
Mm-hmm.
almost.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that manifestation of knowing that you are great and you deserve to be great and live a great life, and you know what I'm saying, you deserve, and I really feel like also being a king and being great means that you pay attention to the world around you when you try to impact it in a positive way. You try to bring something to the table, or you try to be aware of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can be a king stuck in your castle, but like, you know, we seen. what happened to them type of kings versus like people who, try to bridge, you know, communities together, and what I'm saying, people who
Mm.
are servants of the people versus having the people serve them. So
Mm.
that's the kind of king I see myself as a leader, as what I'm saying, somebody who uh just desires to not only be great for myself, but to leave a positive impact in the world. So
Yes.
That's what's up. So,
Well said. Well said.
so
thank
Prince IX, aside from the production you have on the Arc record, what do you have in the works right now on the side of that? Like, what are you working on?
Got a lot of stuff. We technically have production on the art coming, and then we have a whole nother just code EP that we drop in. Hopefully later this year.
Oh, dope.
Um, actually tomorrow, February 5th, I got a track with Emmett James. I'm usually doing a lot of production with Emmett James.
Mm,
We trying
dope.
to knock out getting the Emmett James album out. Um, which is always fun. Emmett drops a project like every 3 months. Um,
Okay.
but his albums are usually pretty special. So we got a chunk of work going there. And I'll be dropping my own little producer project probably in the fall. And then probably just some more electronic stuff. It's been a while since I've dropped some electronic releases. I'll also do that on the side too.
That's what's up. Well,
Dope.
Ram is also a producer, so I want Ram to ask you some kind of production question because
Yeah,
I don't do the producing. You know what I'm saying? So Ram, this is you right here.
that's fun.
All right. No, I'm actually curious. When you were producing, like, okay, so did you have tracks that you, Dukalion, just chose from and then kind of made added into your project? And did you get beats from other cats, or did you have existing material and then you came in and helped touch it up? Did you make specific beats for knowing the concept? How did that work? How did that all work?
A little bit of both. Technically, the first track for the first book was because he has these grand ideas. As you heard, like he kind of had this idea set in
Right,
stone like over 10 years ago,
right,
and I
right.
had just kind of really gotten my groove produced. I'm like, dog, like you you got to put me on the album.
Yeah.
And he like, oh,
You
I
like
got
you like
this
hear
going on
it's
now.
like
Like,
hearing the Matrix, and you like, wait a minute, so you want me to make the music from the Matrix?
I'm like, all right, you gotta have like pick one of these beats and get on the album. He like, well, I already got the track set, so I was making a lot of tracks. And me and Emmett, we were playing around on the piano, and
Mm,
I chopped it up and made this like spacey sound. I was like, man, this sound like a dope introduction, dog. And I sent it to him. And like he's like, yo, I added violin to it. I got all these ideas. Can you extend the beat? Like, all right, bet. Like, let's
yeah.
run with it. Um, so then that's kind of naturally our style with a lot of stuff.
Mm,
Um, but
Yeah.
as the project's grown, and he moved back, we both kind of moved back to Milwaukee about a year ago. We've had a lot more time to kind of sit down and
Oh,
craft a
dope.
lot more newer stuff. So that's
Dope.
how pretty much two whole new projects came out. So I'll have like 5 beats that I kind of come up with, and he'll pick 3 of them. And then from there, I'll kind of have the idea like, okay, that's where we going. And I kind
Yeah.
of get competitive. We start
Yeah.
shooting back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
man.
Being able to bounce off each other is always good like that when you're physically in each other's presence is always great, man.
yeah. So
Yeah,
where
man.
so where were you at? You were both in LA? Where were you? Where were you
I
at?
was up north. I was up in Stevens Point. I went to college up there, and I was just living up there for a few years.
Mm,
And then, ironically, um, and the homie Emmett James, we just all kind of came back to Milwaukee around the same time. Um,
yeah.
home was calling us to come do something, I guess.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You ever play any? You were speaking on electronic music. Did you ever play the Glass House in Stevens Point?
Yep, yeah, yep.
I played.
Definitely did the glass
I've
house.
I've played a show in there. I played shows in there.
Yeah, the glass house is tight. When they're doing shows consistently, it's a couple of venues down there that like with electronic music and hip hop. Me and Emmett, we were down there turning it up for so long that even when he was in LA for a few years, he'd still like get shows and get booked to come all the way back here to do point and stuff like that. So that pretty much always, in a way, be like our first home base for music in a way.
Nice.
That's
Oh, that's
that's dope. So Dukalion, I want to know about the early move, the decision to move from Milwaukee to LA, and how that experience was, and how it built you as a person and an artist. Now that you're back here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, man. My pops was living out there. He had moved out there in 2000. Um, I mean, he still lives out there. But that was the motivation to move out there. Him and my grandmother were out there, so just wanted to reconnect with them. And
nice.
Of course, it's LA. I fell in love with it. I'll never forget. I actually had I knew some this chick who like I had met at a Marquette party, courtesy of one of his cousins, and uh, I she was like interning at Electric Records at the time, and like ended up becoming an editor for Thrasher magazine, and you know what I'm saying, like
Oh,
she
shit. Okay.
did some really cool shit. Um, but I was hanging out with her, and she was living on Venice Beach, and like that man, I got to tell you this story, dog. Like this is the reason why I moved to LA. So my grandmother was staying in Koreatown, so when I came out to visit, I was staying with her, and I took a bus. This was like one of the last days that I was out there. This was like during winter break or whatever, and 2009. That's when I went, going into 2010, and I remember like Blizz had just dropped the shuttle approaches. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Wait, no, this was actually, yeah, maybe 2010. Um, Regardless, because I was out there, pushing that or whatever. But I remember catching a bus to Venice Beach, and like I was listening to Supreme Clientele. I was listening to I think Mighty Healthy, and Ghostface said, "I smashed a big boy and totaled it. Wilshire and Fairfax." I was literally on Wilshire crossing Fairfax as he said that bar. And then like the day itself was so perfect. And then the homegirl, like it was my first time ever seeing like a big ass jar of weed and shit. So like that day, that was just like that solidified it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm moving out here. Like yeah, this is the move. As far as like my experience on the scene, I actually had a homie who was living out there, Chaotic Logic. Um, he was down with a crew called what was their name? Super dope ass crew. My homies Spliff Hemingway, uh, the homie
I know who that
Eases.
is.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
sounds
word,
familiar.
yeah, Spliff, yeah, man, he's great dude, great dude. That's my brother. He like always held me down like the most. Like would let me come and like hype man for him, or Chaotic Logic would what I'm saying, let me come hype man for him and shit. Like whenever we was doing the alumni crew, they
Okay.
like were kind of similar to what me and Sav's crew was doing. So like I just started doing a lot of shows with them, and they was like doing, it led to doing shows on the same bill as like cats like Fora and Gavlin, and you know, did a show where I remember like having a cipher with like fucking dumbfounded and you
Mm.
know
Yeah,
was
I remember you being shook when I announced that I had to join with Gavlin. You were like, "Oh shit."
yeah, hell yeah, yeah. She's so super dope, super cool. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, yeah. It was just like a lot of like really cool experiences. I ended up having a head or having a residency at the House of Blues on Sunset and had my
Oh,
own
dope.
Oh, dope.
band
That's dope.
around like 2013 or 2015. When I think they closed it down in like 2015, 2016 and whatnot. So,
Mm.
yeah, had a nice little residency there and did performed on all the stages. Had some amazing performances with like I used to perform with this what is it called, new metal band from Brazil. Um,
Mm.
Clean Corruption. We used to open up for Steel
Dope.
Panther, like on some
Oh shit,
pack
I know who
show, yeah,
Steel Panther is. That's hilarious, bro.
pack shows. Fucking Ron Jeremy in the crowd, like all types of people. It was crazy. And then
Ram, have you
like
ever
the
heard
house
Steel Panther, bro?
Nah, I'm more laughing because I have
Ron
memories.
Jeremy.
I have memories from a long time ago of being at House of Blues on Sunset, and not from because of me, because of my brother, but then just being in that area, I just remember how fucking dope it is. You could just stand on the corner, and it's just dope to be in that area. Everything about it is so. I'm smiling because of that, to be honest. So, yeah.
Right on. That's
But
peace.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You walk past
Steel
up the
Panther
house
is
and the
hilarious.
whole story, Ron Jeremy in the crowd. I mean,
Well, if you knew who Steel
but,
Panther
no,
is,
I don't know
you
nothing
would
about
know why Ron Jeremy,
that.
because they're a very interesting group, and it's
yeah.
crazy that you performed with Steel Panther. That's just crazy to me.
Right, right. Well,
Dope.
opened up for Steel Panther with a group called Clean Corruption. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Did a Memorial Day show that was like crazy packed. I think I did a Labor Day show with them as well. Like, yeah, those are some amazing nights. Um, Definitely. Like, I was the only rapper there, but turned that motherfucker up. Like, yeah, it was a great time.
Do you
Sometimes that's the
Even
funniest shows, man.
do you think
yeah,
it's harder? Like LA is like a premier place for hip hop, for music in general, for actors, actresses, a premier place. Do you think that it's harder to get something popping there? Like there's people in Milwaukee that want to be the best rapper in Milwaukee, and it's like Milwaukee is this big, bro. No
yeah,
one cares if you're the best rapper in Milwaukee. It's this big.
yeah.
So, like, is it super hard to get things popping in LA? Or is there so many opportunities that you can easily get things popping? Like, what is the process?
It's a mixed bag. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of opportunity. Like I remember when I first started doing the shows at the House of Blues, I had a publicist who had like worked with Pepsi and a bunch of Fortune 500 companies. So she was able to give me a lot of great opportunities. Shout out to Miss Tiffany Bradshaw. Um, but like
But I feel
also,
like I've heard that name before.
word, word. Yeah, she's a really cool person. You know what I'm saying? Good people's. I think she's from Detroit, um, but was out in LA for a while. I probably still out there. But yeah, it's I would say it's just really based on you and you know what I'm saying. Like, are you ready for that type of experience and opportunity and whatnot? I gotta say as much as I had a lot of great experiences, I also, had undiagnosed ADHD. So like I know I wasn't nearly as focused as I wanted to be and, as I could have been.
Mm,
Um, but so like the pressures of living in a big city get to you. You know what I'm saying? Like you can make money out there, but at the same time, it's a lot of poverty out there. It's hard to, you know what I'm saying? Like get in, in, ingratiate yourself in certain circles, and yeah, so it's a mixed bag. You know what I'm saying? But like, there's a lot of opportunity out there. I had a lot of really cool opportunities. I had some, deals on the table, but I didn't feel like they were right for me at the time. So, it's like I said, a lot of opportunity. It's just all about making the most of it. So,
I feel that.
and that's anywhere. Like, and that's one of the reasons I moved. I kind of felt like I, you know, could have been a big fish in a small pond, but I wanted to be a shark in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so I wanted to try my hand out in LA, and definitely feel like I, on the underground scene. You know what I'm saying? As far as like amongst artists, like uh, I definitely held my own and did my thing. And I remember I did the team backpack ciphers and whatnot, and it's crazy. Like I whiffed in the competition, like the first round, because I think I competed on day three. I want to say 2 or 3, and by the time I went up, I had exhausted myself, like in ciphers amongst all the fucking
Yeah, because those
other
those
artists and
those
shit.
ciphers are crazy at the team backpack event.
Going stupid, dog. Like fucking ended up like literally exhausting my voice and like
I was gonna say
uh,
physically. I was gonna ask you that physically or like.
Yeah,
yeah, bro. I couldn't
yeah,
I couldn't even talk.
I believe it. I believe
yeah.
Yeah,
The ciphers are crazy at those. I
it.
did one of the New York ones. And I remember being in ciphers with. Immaculate was out there. Token was
Yeah,
out there. What's the? There's all these dudes.
yeah, yeah,
All the people you seen were out there. They were there. So you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because like a lot of those people that were involved in that movement followed that movement everywhere. So
yeah.
it
sure,
was
sure.
it was a big thing at one point in time.
Hell yeah. I got a quick like cool little redemption story though. So like I said, I messed up in the competition round and whatnot. Even like shout out to my homie Shy Bully. He was one of the winners, one of the champions. And he was like, saying like, "Damn, dog, I was expecting to see you in the final rounds." Like, you know what I'm saying? Uh, um, on the last day, they had Joel Ortiz. He was one of the guest judges, and he performed. And then that's the same year that they had that cipher with him, Sci the Prince, and
Mad
Yeah, yeah,
Child,
I
where he
think
pulled the phone out.
who
Is that the year that Mad Child pulled his phone out?
I
Where they ended
think
up
so.
cut. Where they
I
ended up
think
cutting
so.
something or something.
Yeah, I want
Mad Child pulled his whole phone out and read his verse.
Yeah, yeah,
right, and then it was is it Jaron Benton?
yeah.
Ryan
That was yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think
remember that.
yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think yep, that was all that same cipher. Yep.
yeah.
But during Joel's performance, I got a chance to hop
That's
up
dope.
and spit a 16 with him and shit, and like
Oh, dope.
Hell yeah.
redeem myself, in front of everybody, and yeah, it was a great moment. So,
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Shit, in some ways, to me, that's better than the battle. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some with the battle, but that shit, getting up on stage and spitting with with motherfuckers that are cold like that,
yeah,
yeah.
that's to me,
That's
that's priceless.
that's super. It's
Yeah.
it that to me reminds me of there was this one point in time where um I always call Milwaukee um the Milwaukee hip hop scene the circle jerk community because
yeah.
Where
be,
is this going? Hold the
no
fuck
no
up.
no
We
no
just having a good
because
time. We
no
just all having a
because
great conversation.
I call it the circle jerk community because you have these circles of people that work together and they only work in those circles. And then if you're not a part of the circle, they don't let you in. And then if you want to be on your own island, none of those circles fuck with you. That's where I've been this whole time, forever.
That's
Yeah.
But
everywhere.
but there was this one time when Razcast was touring, and I had known Raz, and they wouldn't let me on the show. I don't understand all these things. Like motherfuckers
Was
here
it
don't.
the Dana Copper show?
Yes, so they wouldn't let
Wow.
me on the show, right?
Excuse me.
Because motherfuckers hate me. They hate me. I don't care if they say they don't. They hate me in the city. There's this underground hate where they either don't say it to my face and then they do this behind the scenes shit or whatever. It's been like this forever. Like it's just been like this. I don't know if it's because I've done these things or whatever, and I shout out my accolades, and they're like, oh, blah blah blah, whatever. He's just shouting himself out, all this ego shit. But I've helped so many people that it's ridiculous when people say this shit. But that show, I tried to get on. I was like, bro, I know Raz. Like, we have a joint. Like, let me get on the show. It makes sense for me to be on it. Like, why are you not putting me on the show? So then I go to the show anyway. Talk to Raz. We have a conversation, whatever. I give him a copy of the album that he's on of mine because, like I said, we had the joint. Give him the copy. We chop it up. I don't get to perform on the show, but I'm rocking whatever. And then he calls all these people up on a beat to Cypher that were on the show. He calls them up, and then his Primo joint comes on, right? And he's like, where's my motherfucking dude Denku? I'm like, oh, right here. And he brings me up to kill a freestyle over the fucking DJ Premier shit.
Right.
So
right.
that to me was my fuck you moment. Like you guys don't want to give me my shine.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
how either you whiffed or you didn't get your shine in the team backpack shit, but then the headline was
I
like,
almost said,
come
I
on
almost said a
stage.
fucking funny ass joke, and I'm glad I didn't say it because it was a big pause, but it was about to be funny as fuck. And I almost want to say it, but
Why don't
I
you just say it now?
because okay, so you wanted to jump in the circle jerk, but instead of getting in the circle jerk, you just did it yourself. Basically, you just fucked yourself. Really. That's basically what. Hey, everybody that watches this podcast knows I'm a stand-up comedian as well. That shit just popped in my head like that. I'm like, so you wanted to get up in the cipher, you had to just go and do it yourself.
No, that's hilarious.
Big pause.
No.
Big pause,
Continue the
but
conversation.
Hey, right.
It was,
I was at that show though. I remember coming into town that
you were
week.
at that. You were at that Razcast. Well, which one were
Yeah,
you at? Because this was the one that was at the Mason Jar.
I believe that
Not
is the Mason Jar. Like
the,
where was the other one at?
the other one was at Company Brewing.
Yeah, that was definitely the Mason Jar then.
Yo, hold
Because
up. There's a
was
Mason
bar
jar
I'd
in
never
Milwaukee?
been to. I'm
Well,
sorry.
it's not called the Mason Jar anymore.
That's crazy because there used to be a Mason jar when I was coming up in Phoenix. Hip hop that did where I started doing hip hop shows. I think that was where I first did my first show.
The Mason Jar is where I had an album release party that people told me I didn't have enough big Milwaukee artists on my album release show. There wasn't going to be no one there, and we had to turn people away from the door. It was one of the biggest shows in Milwaukee. Like we reached past capacity.
Right.
And I barely had anybody from the Circle Jerk community on that show. You know what I'm saying? I had different artists on. I had Jahab Barakis did a beat set.
Or
I had
he gave me my first copy of Fruity Loops.
Word up. Yeah, we
that is it's always dope. Those people are fucking angels in the music community to me. They should all be applauded. People who give shit to other MC, like who share shit, those people should be applauded for it and celebrated. I've given shit to people and people should give shit to me. I remember when a motherfucker gave me a garage band one time and I had shit and I was like, oh my Lord. This is a long time ago, but I'm just saying. Sorry about the side.
Mason Jar used to do a lot of dope shows. I mean, I did that show there. I did That's where I brought Shabazz the Disciple. Um, that's where he spazzed out and
So hey, so I had a
spit
question.
water on the crowd and
Okay,
Oh
that's
shit.
odd.
Yeah.
So that project y'all said y'all had another project that y'all working on besides the third Lost Ark, right? Is that or is it? I'm sorry, it's not called Lost Ark, is it? Or
Yeah, the art. Yeah.
okay,
But
okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Um,
No, you good.
so that other project, is there a theme to that project? Did I already ask that?
yeah, you did.
Yeah,
I
we
did.
Oh no.
No, because I was talking about
no,
You're
the.
talking
you
about
didn't
the
ask that.
other.
No.
No,
You're
I was
talking
talking
about
about the
the
art
other.
project.
You're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about the other
yeah,
project
yeah,
that they
yeah.
had.
Yeah. No. I'm sorry. I was
So
saying yes, there is a theme.
okay,
A loose theme. Like we haven't landed on one yet. But it's definitely like some. I hate to say buddy cop, but you know what I'm saying, like, cause fuck the police.
no, that's
But
dope. That's
you
like
know what I'm saying, on
yeah,
some type of
yeah,
maybe like espionage type of
yeah.
vibes. But like that's like
Like
just
Bad
I don't
Boys,
know.
kind of. You know what
Yeah,
I
some cinematic and fun.
Yeah,
A little bit different than like he got the projects that's kind of a little more chiseled and driven.
okay.
So I just want to give him like some weirder and different stuff for us to have fun on.
So
yeah,
from a production standpoint, you're coming from a cinematic vibe on that too.
Yeah,
On a
yeah,
production standpoint,
and just like a different universe.
okay,
Um, Probably a lot more like hard hitting,
okay,
and just different, a little more right. For the Lost Ark stuff, it still got more of a hip hop home and base. No matter what the production is. And for the EP
okay.
project,
It's gonna be a
it's
little more experimental.
yeah, a lot more experimental and stuff to kind of just fit the theme. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, like you said, very fun. Very like big sounds. Yeah, just like it's like the thing I love about his production is we're both like um just big fans of like hard hitting drums. And I
yeah,
feel like,
Hmm.
he
absolutely.
definitely got some of the hardest drums that, you know, like out of any producer that I know. You know what I'm saying? There's a few that, I mean, a lot of people have, hard 808 drum packs and shit, right? But, like it's about, just the musicality behind it, you know what I'm saying? The
Yeah,
timing,
yeah,
just the
Yeah.
ear for melodies, and you know what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I'm just super excited about the palette that we're putting together.
yeah.
And I admittedly haven't started doing a whole bunch of writing just because I'm still I have like a couple more songs on the arc that I'm writing, but
Yeah,
like I'm riding to the instrumentals because like what I love to do is like organize and
hmm,
pick like you know I guess put the chapter titles in order before I write the book. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
put an outline together so I know what it's going to sound like, and then flesh a story out from there. So yeah, man, just super excited
that's
about
interesting.
like what we're coming up with. We actually started a project. I want to say like when we first moved back, but like I I personally felt like we could have a more focused effort, and
Mm.
ended up scrapping the project, but two of the songs ended up making it onto the arc.
Okay,
And they're two of my favorite songs, by far that I've ever made. So,
dope.
definitely already like have a groove going. So just super excited to see like, what this is, going to evolve into. So.
Hmm.
Um. Yeah, I don't want to keep y'all too much longer. We're already
I have one more question,
going
if it's
over, but
cool.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Drop it.
Um, Actually, two, if you allow them, but real quick ones. Vice versa? Do y'all have interest in rapping and producing, switching? You know what I mean? Like, do you have interest in rapping or writing lyrics, or do you have interest in producing, vice versa? You know what I mean?
Well, that's technically what the second project is doing. Um,
Oh, okay,
you
okay,
know the joints on the arc is the joints on the arc. But I wanted to write a little bit more, and essentially right now the project is a lot of loops and ideas that I have, and
okay.
I bring them to him, and he kind of help arrange them. And
Yeah,
Mm.
like, all right, I got a hook idea, but you about to
yeah,
help me finish writing the hook.
yeah.
And
I like
where
that.
should
Yeah,
we put this? And we kind of arranging it and building it and doing fun stuff together. Yeah,
that's dope. That's what's up.
yeah,
That's what's up.
and that's what we kind of wanted to do, and what made the is what's gonna make the EP a little more fun part of the process. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It,
then like, he is sending me snippets of bars and, verses, and it's giving me that same feeling, that same energy of back when we was at Roosevelt. So like, I'm just Roosevelt is the middle school we was at. So like super excited. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really like yeah, man, this is amazing. Everything happens for a
so,
reason. I was telling y'all I don't know if oh yeah, it was at the beginning of the show. You know what I'm saying? I almost got T-bone yesterday, but I missed it to be here. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
we
Glad she
here
did.
for a
Right,
reason. So I'm
right.
super excited about what was to come with it. You know what I'm saying? But yes, and yeah, I'm definitely I've always just to go a little bit further back, even on the song "The Ark," off of the Journey, Book One. I like you said, I
Technically
had
co-produced that track.
yeah co-produced that track. I added some
Okay,
got some strings on it and whatnot. My shout outs to Miss Lacoste. Miss Alita Lacoste, amazing educator and artist. And she played violin, viola, and cello on there and whatnot.
Mm.
And
Dope.
yeah,
yeah,
just doing things like that. I've always had an ear for production. Used to, like I said, I had
okay,
Fruity Loops. So I
yeah,
used to
yeah.
like we used to whip up crazy beats. You know what I'm saying, after school all the time. And
Okay, so y'all
I
both have kind of always done both in some form or fashion.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I think some of my favorite, just rappers and MCs of all time and people to work with, and I think it go, producers. Every producer is probably a little bit of like a singer and a rapper, and every
right.
rapper, the better ones probably are a little bit either like engineer or producer themselves. Like Travis Scott's an amazing
Yeah,
engineer, right? He has all like the crazy sonic sounds. Yeah, and it's always tight to cross over the worlds and stuff like that.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, I've been engineering probably 20 years out of the 30 years I've been rapping. So, um,
Right on, right
and
on.
got some cool notches under the belt for that. I engineered two Onyx records. I did the re.
Onyx.
I
Shout
did.
out to the legends.
I did
That's
the 25-year anniversary of a Das Effects record.
fire.
Razcast Soul on Ice 25-year
Wow.
anniversary.
Okay. Wow.
Some
Damn.
Fraser records.
Okay.
See,
Yeah, I've done some engineer work. That a lot
see,
of people don't know much
Legend,
that I do that.
stop sleeping on Dane Cool, man.
But
Stop.
I want to know about the when all three books are done, and even the side EP you guys have that you're working on. When all these projects are done, do you have a plan or a plot for a rollout as far as merch goes, videos, um, stuff like that? Maybe I know me and you had a conversation of you and me getting together and having a conversation about um, possibly helping you with your tour game. So what's your plans for like the rollout when everything's said and done?
Yeah. So I'm actually in talks with some designer or a designer right now. I got a lot of ideas based off Lost that I want to do. I actually have an anniversary shirt that I'm gonna drop for the 5th year anniversary of the journey. So I got some
Yeah.
merch coming with that idea in mind, and yeah, definitely want to, like I said, or like me and Danku have talked about, definitely start hitting the road and taking this all over the world. But yeah, definitely, and I'm actually we haven't signed anything, but I'm actually currently in talks with uh, I'm sorry, MK Expanded. Shout out to Miss Mocha and the whole team over there.
That's what's
Uh,
up.
they're, we're in talks about managing me. So,
Hmm.
uh,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So I'm super excited about the prospects of that happening, and yeah, definitely gonna take the, just give the attention to these projects that they deserve. You know what I'm saying? Because I really make art pieces. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I gotta have the whole package to go with that. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I feel that.
definitely gonna get heavy into that this year. So,
That's dope, man. Well, I look forward to all the
Yeah.
music coming, man. I look forward to hearing the new shit. I look forward to hearing you perform new shit. It was dope having you at the newly started monthly the Bar Work series. Um, at the end of January, that was super dope. Like I said, make sure you tell all your peoples that you had a good time to come out. We're doing at the end of every month. This next month, it's actually or this month. It is the 28th instead of the 22nd. We changed it, so it is Friday, February 28th. Will be the Bar Work series this month, and the CyphaDen homie Pestilence, who is unable to be with us tonight, is going to be headlining that
okay,
one. Shouts to my homie Dre Morrow. He's also the co-host.
yeah,
The other person that
fucking
hosts with
beast.
me.
Both him and Pestilence beast. I gotta, to what I'm saying, salute them.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. Do you guys have any show stuff coming up? Anything that's coming up around the corner?
For me, I have a show coming up in Racine, at the Racine Theater Guild. I want to say something like that. Don't kill me. Follow me at SAFS_DK, and you'll be able to see all the promotions for upcoming shows, or follow me on Facebook, The
That's
Real Dukalion.
that's crazy. I
Uh,
was just gonna ask y'all to give your socials for people to
yeah,
follow.
word, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, just because I can't remember, the details off the top. So just follow your boy, follow him. You know what I'm saying? We always have something going on. Um, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
be a judge at a poetry slam this month as
Okay.
well. Um, yeah, I know, right? It's shit. I think that's February. See, that's why you gotta follow me. You follow me,
Yeah.
you're gonna get all this info.
There you
Follow
go.
him on the socials.
Boom.
Captain
Yeah,
IX,
yeah, yeah,
what's your socials? Where can people find you?
yeah, yeah. Captain IX on Instagram. Follow me. IX Matthew IX. The letters MATTHEW. Yeah, I got some dope stuff on there. Information to be up on there. So.
And holla at them for beats too. I mean, well, you probably ain't gonna get the best because you know what I'm saying. Me up in there, horde
Well,
knows, but ooh.
oh, what happened? What happened? What happened? Oh, I lost the camera. I lost the camera. You still there?
uh, well,
Dukalion, you still there? Man, did his phone die? Did the same shit happen?
I think his phone died or something.
Bro, the same shit happens. Come on. Anyway, this has been CyphaDen Chat. Brought to you by CyphaDen Music, where we inspire even those higher. And remember to never stop chasing your dreams, because you will never know what you are fully capable of. I'm Tayamu Denku. That's the homie Rambunctious. Tonight we had
What up?
Dukalion
Peace.
Captain IX. This has been a
Good
beautiful,
episode. It was fun, man.
beautiful evening. Dope episode. Make sure you catch it out on YouTube and Spotify. And follow us. We got a lot more to come for y'all, man, along with a lot more music. So stay in tune, stay in touch. And until next time, we are out of here.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, dog.
All right, man.
This is CyphaDen